Harmon Smith is at it again. Why can you just not keep From Software out of your mouth? I understand that you're jealous because you don't have that game and you can't appreciate those games because you're just not that good, but just leave From Software alone already. Let's get into it.
So you pay off Jeff Keighley for a Game of the Year award. You pretend that your game sold.
You have no proof that someone paid off Jeff Keighley to get that Game of the Year award. So with your opinion right there, did Nintendo pay off Jeff Keighley when Breath of the Wild won it? I bet you would sit there and be like, oh no, they earned it.
30 million units. You gaslight people into believing that Elden Ring is one of the biggest releases of the generation.
Well, it is, Harmon. It has sold over 30 million copies worldwide. There's no gaslighting in that. They didn't make anybody buy that. They chose to buy it because of word of mouth.
And what do? You immediately turn around and turn it into Fortnite.
Yeah, I've never played Fortnite, nor have I ever played the Night Rain game. But from what I've been hearing, it is nothing like Fortnite. So please continue.
You know, this must have always been the long-term plan, because I can't imagine that Miyazaki actually really thought that Elden Ring would have succeeded long-term.
Harmon has sold over 30 million copies worldwide, and now it's about to get the Tarnished edition on the Switch too, so it's probably going to even sell even more than what it already has. It has outsold most of your Nintendo Switch games.
Because I pointed this out when the game first came out, is that, like, this is just Dark Souls again, it's just open world, it's gonna wear off eventually.
Harmon, the game has just came out, and is this the video you did, like, I know this is an older video, but has the game even released yet? Because I know you did one video bashing it, and the game hadn't even released yet.
You know, what's the long-term plan for this brand? Okay, what are they gonna do with it?
Continue making good games that people love. That's what they're gonna do, because it hasn't grown stale yet. Many people are still excited for this type of formula.
And they literally just turned it into Fortnite.
Harmon, Fortnite is free to play. This one is not. You have to pay $40 if I remember correctly for this game, and from what I've heard is nothing alike.
They literally were just like, well, we gotta do what Fortnite does. And yeah, FromSlop, the company that is only...
Harmon, Fortnite is free to play. This is not free to play, so how is it exactly the same?
They made their game into Fortnite.
Harmon, can you please give some examples, give some facts? How did they make it into Fortnite? You just make all these outlandish claims. You know, you're starting to remind me a lot of Player Essence. Both of you are allergic to facts, I swear.
And right now, it's kind of like a repeat of what happened with Shadow of the Erd Tree.
What exactly happened, Harmon? Please explain.
Shit staying on the Erd Tree, excuse me. It's kind of there. It's kind of the same situation, what we're seeing right now.
Harmon, please explain how an expansion to an open world game like Elden Ring is the same as a multiplayer type game with Night Rain. Please explain how they're the same.
Where FromSlop fanboys are just guzzling down like Night Rain.
The only thing around here that is guzzling down is you and Daddy Nintendo.
Not willing to acknowledge the game's very obvious problems and the flaws.
Can you please explain what those problems are, Harmon? We are all waiting for you to explain to us. Stop sitting here making all these accusations and never using any facts to support your claims.
Right. You know, people are a bit more willing to accept that, like, yeah, this isn't the genre I wanted. Nobody cares about the multiplayer with Elden Ring. That was actually like...
That's why it sold over 2 million copies in its first day, Harmon. It has sold 3.5 million copies in its first 5 days. That's more than Princess Peach Showtime.
A really good sign that, like, Elden Ring was kind of underwhelming, by the way, is the fact that, like, nobody cares about the multiplayer in this. But
Harmon, with comparing two different games like that, it's like sitting there saying that Mario Odyssey was such a failure because of how Princess Peach Showtime did.
You know, nobody likes the multiplayer in Souls games, okay? It's just a thing for tryhards.
That makes no damn sense. I guarantee you there are plenty of people that like multiplayer games. They get to sit there and play with their friends. Look how successful Monster Hunter is.
It doesn't really add anything to the game. It detracts from the core experience. Nobody likes it.
Just like with Mario and Luigi Brothership. It didn't add anything to the Mario franchise. It's unforgettable. No one really cared about it.
And FromSlop, in their infinite wisdom, was just like, oh, we're going to make an entire IP based on the concept. It's like, let's make a multiplayer Souls game.
Yes, Harmon, and guess what? It has worked so far. It's sold over 2 million copies in its first day. That's more than your precious Princess Peach Showtime in its lifetime.
You know, never mind that like the movesets of these bosses are so limited that like, you know, having someone else with you completely breaks the game.
Oh, come on, Harmon. I have played many type of Nintendo games, okay? You're going to sit here and talk about that their boss movesets are minimal? Look at your boss fights.
You know, never mind that like the Elden Ring lore isn't fleshed out enough or interesting enough to make a multiplayer game interesting, and so they had to bring in like...
Yeah, I don't think it needed to. That's why it has sold over 3.5 million copies in its first 5 days. What else does it need? It literally gave them what they wanted. It sat there, put them in a big map, gave them these good boss battles to where you could play with 1 other 2 people. I know some people wish it was just 2 people, but you can sit there and do that, and a lot of people are having fun with it.
Characters from Dark Souls to get anybody remotely interested in what was happening. You know, never mind that like if
more people were interested in that game than a lot of your Nintendo games.
The world of Elden Ring was Fortnite. Like, why didn't we just Fortnite it to begin with? It's just like, what?
You know, I could be wrong, but I have not heard anybody else compare this game to Fortnite except you. Do you secretly want to play Fortnite or something, Harmon?
This is what they came up with, you know, this is what they produced. And what's more, they made it pretty clear with Duskbloods, you know, the announcement of their next big project, you know, exclusively.
Yes, it is exclusively on the Switch too, but guess what? Davy Jones will bring that over to the PC. If Davy Jones does it, From Software will. But I promise you, it will end up on PC one way or another.
On the Nintendo Switch platform, the superior gaming platform, the market leader.
Yeah, you're so correct. Such a superior leader that it couldn't even beat the PS2 in sales. I know that eats at you. I know that drives you crazy that you do not have the top selling console of all time. I personally don't care. As long as the games are fun, who cares if the console has sold more? That means nothing to me. But I just know it drives you crazy, Harmon.
When they announced their bigger project, their next big step after Elden Ring, they made it very clear that they're going to double down on what they're doing with Night Rain. You know, this multiplayer, choose your character slop, you know, something.
But it works, Harmon. What are you talking about? Look at how much it has sold. How are you continually saying all this? You have produced no facts. Give us some facts already.
That nobody in the audience asked for, nobody wanted, and is becoming very, very apparent is...
And guess what? Maybe nobody asked for it. Well, there might have been some people that asked for it, but to my knowledge, no one asked for it. But it works. It's profiting. It's working. You know what? No one asked for $80 overpriced Mario Kart World, and look what we got.
A massive misstep. You know, FromSoft fans are autistic.
Harmon, there is no need to go that low. You are better than that. Don't be a player essence. Be better than him. It's not hard to accomplish.
You know, that's the reality of it. The reason why they're so obsessed with this brand is because they developed like this specific fixation on this idea that like...
You're the only one that has the fixation. You're so fixated on Princess Peach and Pikachu.
They think Souls is way harder than it actually is, and that they're good gamers because they can breeze through it in like an hour.
Okay, if anybody can breeze through an hour of a AAA game at like $60, $70, you need to go get your money back.
FromSoft, like producing games in different genres that require a more diverse skill set that are nothing like the games that like people claim are like peak.
Harmon, to complete those games, they do take a very special skill set. I can't even sit there and complete one of those games. But also, I haven't played one since the very first Dark Souls where I couldn't even get past Chapter 1. But Harmon, you couldn't even beat any of them. You claim you have, but you have no proof behind it. Can you name one Nintendo game that is even halfway as challenging? I'll wait.
This is alienating their core audience. You know, we are beginning to see the backlash to FromSoft being overhyped among the general community.
I mean, can you please give some examples or some facts to back that up, Harmon? We are really waiting for those facts. You just make all these outlandish claims, no facts to back them up. I really doubt that they got a huge backlash against it. The only people I hear complaining is you and Dreamcast Guy, and don't worry, Dreamcast Guy, you're next.
They are trying to like pull in more normies, getting more casuals,
Okay, so what's your point? I mean, that's a normal thing to do. When you have something that's a niche, they want to pull in those types of people. Look at with Nintendo, with the Wii U, it was a niche. They had to pull in all the normies and casuals, just like you're claiming, to make the Switch successful. So what are you getting at?
And it's just alienating the people who like genuinely love FromSlot for what it is.
Harmon, once again, you have no idea what you're talking about. And please do not make any more Elden Ring videos. Just make something different. We're all getting sick and tired of you making the same video over and over and over again. I think you made 4 of these already. Well, that's it for my reaction. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or not. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay vigilant.